While many aspects of the booklet are chilling, there is much more to this story than just this booklet. What erupted in Moscow was a series of events in a flurry of angry accusation and counter-accusation and counter-accusation of all sorts, including racism, sexism, intolerance, homophobia, anti-Christian, secularism, and so on. The slavery booklet became a coalescing point for all kinds of issues, many of which I think are indicative of the larger social and cultural landscape. Yes, the good town of Moscow was playing host to that grand competition of our time, the culture wars.
The 16th anniversary of the Supreme Court decision making abortions legal.
Legalizing abortion. First, the 1973 decision.
Prayer in the public schools.
Are you a liberal?
Let me just...
Wait, are you a liberal?
Symbolic move away from secularism and toward wholesome values.
From my cold, dead hands.
Lee Jones, NBC News, Charlotte.
In New York today, a huge display of gay power in America.
God hates fags.
He thinks tolerates homosexuals.
Same-sex marriages.
What was once just a dream.
This is the voice of evil.
To amend the Constitution itself.
In the mother of all battleground state, from the evangelical faithful.
It is one of the hot-button issues of our time, affirmative action.
Legalizing abortion.
Secularism.
The evangelical faithful.
Gay power.
Prayer in the public school.
Wholesome values.
Same-sex marriages.
The voice of evil.
Legalizing abortion.
Secularism.
The evangelical faithful.
Gay power.
Prayer in the public school.
Wholesome values.
Same-sex marriages.
The voice of evil.
Legalizing abortion.
Secularism.
The evangelical faithful.
Gay power.
Prayer in the public school.
Wholesome values.
Same-sex marriages.
The voice of evil.
God is dead! God is dead! God is dead!
Hear this, Your Honor.
A fire is burning Danforth. I see the Buddha loose, for I hear his filthy face, and it is my face and yours, Danforth. For them that quailed to bring men out of their innocence, as I have quailed, and as you all quail now, when you know in all your black hearts that this be fraud. God damns our kind especially, and we will burn! We will burn the death of Danforth!
At the time of these events, Paris was in his middle 40s. In history, he had cut a villainous path, and there's very little good to be said for him. Long-held hatreds of neighbors cannot be openly expressed and vengeance taken, despite the Bible's charitable injunctions. Landlust, which was expressed before by constant bickering over boundaries and deeds, cannot be elevated to the arena of morality. One could cry, witch! Against one's own neighbor and feel perfectly justified in the bargain. Old scores could be settled on a plane of heavenly combat between Lucifer and the Lord, and the suspicions and envy of the miserable toward the happy could, and did, burst out in the general revenge.
So that if we found a community that was banishing homosexuals based on biblical principles, that would be okay.
I have no problem with agreeing with all of that. I think that there's a certain amount of wisdom we need to have. I think we can't be hotheads about it. And I think that the American church is about as ill-prepared as she possibly could for sorting through those issues, and I would put myself in that category. So I'd say I'm ill-prepared to make those sorts of judgments. But if somebody said somewhere at one time there was a banishment of homosexuals, I could not say across the board that is evil, wicked at all times in all places, because Scripture has plenty of places where that's happened.
They had profound political and social impact on the community. And that was really especially symbolized by their purchase of the old GTE building right downtown next to Friendship Square. But before that, there was a rising power through the growth of the Logos K-12 school, the establishment of New St. Andrews as a college, and the increasing number of people that were moving to Moscow to join the church.
We hear rumors around that many people are moving into town because of the Christ Church. Bully for them, you know. Anybody who's got a good message, great, send it out there. But we also see that they're buying up a lot of houses, and they're also buying up major downtown buildings. Those are concerns in terms of, okay, we can see they're moving in. Are they presenting a message we want to have in our town?
There's also this feeling of Doug Wilson wanting to buy up as much of downtown Moscow as he can, and people are not sure how to respond to that. Because the downtown is the heart of our community, and maybe that's why he wants to put his church there rather than somewhere else.
It's not a matter of a hidden agenda or anything that they have, because if you ask them directly, I think they would tell you, they've told me this, that they intend to hold the center of town, both culturally and actually. Now, they go to the point of expressing they don't want to force a political control. They're not interested in many ways in politics. They're interested in having revisiting what they would see something like Oxford or Cambridge being, where you have this Christian cultural academic center to those small English towns. They would like to see that happen. They would like to have the town of Moscow reference itself in terms of New St. Andrew's presence being there or Christ Church being there. They would like to have a cathedral downtown. They would like to have their college downtown. Not because it's they intend to force their way on the people. They believe it is a natural thing for what they intend a Christianized community to function like, with the church central to people's outlooks.